It's the National Football League on EA Sports. And our focus is on George Pickens. He comes in second in the NFL in touchdown receptions. It's the Steelers and the Pats on Thursday night primetime.
Oh, the cold weather certainly helping set the stage for what should be a physical primetime contest at Pittsburgh's Acrisure Stadium. But tonight we start Week 14 of the NFL season with a great Thursday night matchup, as it'll be the New England Patriots taking on the Pittsburgh Steelers.
With Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. Charles, we look at this Steeler ball club entering play. They've handled all comers through the first 3 months, a perfect 12-0.
Yeah, they're 3/4 of the way to a perfect season, and now's where it...
So here are the Steelers now to take over for the first time. And they will be led out by a guy certainly still trying to prove himself here in the league, the young rookie quarterback.
And he's had such a sensational season to this point, leading the NFL in passing yards. He's been helped out a lot by an outstanding set of receivers, and he's quick to give them credit. But I think even they would tell you that he's the guy that makes this offense go.
Now he's loose at the 40. Najee Harris.
And into the end zone. Touchdown, Pittsburgh.
Najee Harris with his 17th rushing touchdown on the year. And the Steelers have answered that early field goal to take a first-quarter lead. Boy, Charles, his offense is just so explosive. They lead the league in scoring, and another example of just how good they are right there on that play.
Yeah, we often overstate about how explosive teams are, but this team is truly a threat to score on every snap, especially on the first few plays of any series. And a big strike like that only adds to their reputation as the league's best offense.
So Pittsburgh retakes the field for their second offensive possession.
Well, partner, you know, coaches always say that every play is designed to score a touchdown. Sometimes that's not really true, but last drive, that was the case. One play to get into the end zone, and now they'll try to duplicate that success.
He's got him in, complete. A big play that time for Pittsburgh. 41 yards.
Defensive talk 101. Don't let the quarterback out of the pocket, because when that happens, yeah, you may shrink the field with your defense, but it's so easy to lose someone on the backside. And he finds him and picks up a big gain.
So how about that for a chain mover? They're all the way down inside the 40 now for 1st and 10. Eluding the pressure right. And he overshot him there. It's out of bounds, incomplete.
Well, partner, this offense 12-0 now on the year following their latest victory. And during the week, a lot of folks making comparisons between this squad and the 1985 Bears. You know, they too were 12-0 at this juncture of the season before losing.
And he's in. Touchdown, Steelers.
Najee Harris
with his second touchdown in this opening quarter.
And the Steelers add 6 to their lead.
You get in a second and long situation down here in the red zone, I'd say most defensive coaches would think pass, let's bring some pressure. So this is kind of a tendency breaker here to hit him with something on the ground, and he'll take it all the way into the end zone.
Here comes the field general leading his offense back out there for the next possession. He hasn't had his best day. They have been good running the football, and they have the lead, though, so maybe he just personally wants to improve his play.
And that's without a doubt, because at the end of the game, he wants to feel like he had a really good hand in his team winning, if in fact they do go on and get that done. But the bottom line is finding a way to win the game. So if you're not playing that well, but somebody else is on the team, keep going to that hot hand.
Yeah, not over yet, but looking good here in the second quarter. Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. Escaping, and he can't get rid of it. He's taken down. Matt Judon make that now 8 sacks for him on the season.
He was really focused downfield, but there was really no viable options. The coverage was too good.
And the defense really quickened the tempo of that play with their pass rush because there was nowhere for him to go with the football. The only place he ended up, down on the ground.
Oh, a deep ball there on second down, but it'll wind up incomplete.
That's some good closing speed there defensively because that looked open for a minute. But that's great work with the ball in the air. Never gave up, converged on his man, and broke the play up.
And he has a big gain inside the 40 before being dropped.
Big yardage there on the scramble. It gets him a first down.
And that is a historic run for a partner. With that pickup, he just broke Lamar Jackson's 2019 record for most yards in a season by a quarterback. No one has done it better across a 16 or 17-game schedule. Now his name will be forever linked with the best runners to ever play at that position.
So into Pat's territory now. Here's 1st and 10 at the 38. They'll roll him out right. And into the end zone. Touchdown, Pittsburgh. How about that? Their quarterback, 38 yards, as his guys are able to extend their lead.
Remember, he got loose on the previous drive, capped it off with a nice touchdown run. And now starting again here, 1st and 10.
Harris starts the drive on the ground. And a pretty little juke move there on a nice game.
135 yards rushing for him so far as his terrific season continues here.
Now the Steelers use the first of their 3 timeouts as they'll talk things over prior to this upcoming 2nd down play. Looking to throw. Gibson flush to his right. And got his man complete. And he's going to get this down to the 35-yard line. That goes for a gain of 31.
And what great recognition between a receiver and his quarterback because he's going to recognize the trouble, and then he has 2 options. Cut off the route and come back to help, or head straight down the field, and he chooses the latter, and it turns into a huge play.
So that changes things a bit. Here's a 1st and 10 all the way down at the 35. Sliding out of the pocket.
And that'll be off the mark, too far out in front, and it's incomplete.
I know he was trying to get the completion downfield, but the way this game has gone, with a few of the runs he's made along the way, he should have kept the ball and taken it with his feet downfield. That's the big play that shreds the defense. Instead, he thought to himself, I'm a quarterback, I've got to throw it. He bailed out the defense with that incompletion.
And 2nd and 10, he'll look to throw again. On the run, he'll let this go deep right side. Got his man, it's caught for a Steelers touchdown. Deontay Johnson, his 26th touchdown, drawing even with Marshall Faulk for the 4th most in a single season.
And the Steelers will extend their lead in the final minute of the half.
I'll let you do the analysis, partner, but with every touchdown pass his young quarterback throws and with the success that his team has had, I just continue to be more and more impressed.
Let's both do the analysis. Impressed. Aren't we both?
Yeah.
I mean, and why shouldn't we be? We've seen him improve throughout the year. We've seen him settle in now, and you can see the confidence of the team has grown. His confidence has grown.
Their quarterback leading this offense back out. He had the touchdown pass on their previous drive, and they'll search for another score as they begin here with a 1st and 10.
They'll indeed start on the ground to run that clock. And he'll just push his way forward for a few as the clock will run. So we reach halftime in what's been a fairly one-sided game so far. As we send you down to Orlando, where Jonathan Coachman has our EA Sports halftime report. Coach.
All right, Brandon, thanks very much. We'll get back to you two in just a moment. First, we just want to give everybody a look ahead to what's in store for us this weekend as we enter the final month of this NFL season. Good matchups all up and down the schedule there. We'll highlight the one in Cincinnati. A big test coming up for the Bengals as they'll take on the visiting Indianapolis Colts. In the late afternoon games, it'll be loud in Kansas City, that's for sure, as it'll be the Chiefs taking on the Buffalo Bills. And then lastly, the nation gets a good one on Sunday night between the Philadelphia Eagles and the Dallas Cowboys. We got a fine first half out of the former Alabama man, Najee Harris. He's over 100 yards rushing for the game already and found the end zone twice as well.
The Steeler offense now with a football first here to begin the third quarter.
Charles, for them, pretty good first half on the ground. They had some success running the ball in quarters 1 and 2, and they've got the lead now, a chance to expand upon that lead here with their first drive in the third quarter.
Yeah, and believe it or not, you and I have noticed that this great game of football has shifted towards pass first, run second. So for me,
and now off to the races down the right side.
And he's going to be ridden out of bounds down inside the 25.
A big play that time for Pittsburgh. 54 yards.
And this is one of the toughest parts about being a defensive back. When a play breaks down like this, you're taught to plaster to a receiver. Find the nearest one and adhere yourself to it. But you can only stay with the receiver so long if the play continues to develop. He knows where he's going. You do not.
On 1st and 10, Gibson. Here's Johnson with a reception. And all the way down inside the 5 to the 4. Another first down as he went right back to the same well, this time for 17 yards. And he's over 100 yards now after that last catch. Already, of course, leading the NFL in receiving yardage.
So he's done nothing at all to hurt his cause to stay in that spot. But I've been so impressed with how he's gotten it done. Body control.
And he's going to take it in for a Steeler touchdown. Taking it in from 4 yards out.
And the Steelers come right out of the locker room and score here in the opening minute of the third quarter.
He continues to show at this level that he can not only pass for touchdowns, he can run for touchdowns.
Not the first time we've seen this, because this young guy, he really makes it happen. So what that tells me is the book on him has to change. You got to now plan for those legs as well as him throwing the football.
He capped off that last drive himself, had the touchdown run. Now he'll take over here again, 1st and 10.
They'll start the drive with Harris. And he's going to get 7 out of this before being taken down at the 27.
Offensive linemen love creating space for their guys carrying the ball, but when that guy also breaks tackles and creates extra yardage, they almost feel like he's one of them, and they really embrace him.
Now he'll let it go deep right side.
That is incomplete.
Oh, he's been fun to watch in this one. He's made the correct reads all game long and helped stake his team a huge lead. Running, passing, he's made all the right decisions. But that wasn't the right read on that one. It falls incomplete.
Flushed out right.
Able to find the open man. That's complete.
There he goes right side. to the end zone. Touchdown, Pittsburgh.
George Pickens, touchdown number 18 on the year. And the Steelers are able to extend their lead.
And nothing too crazy there. A quick slant, and then he just had a seam. He found a seam.
And when you hit it on the run like that, and I mean the pass right to the receiver who's already in motion and moving, sometimes he just takes it and runs away from everyone else.
And he ran it into the end zone. And the defense, they've got to adjust there quickly. That's tough on them.
That's really tough because everything was executed well. Ball is out of his hands quick.
Now here's the signal caller getting ready to lead this offense again. He has been consistent, hasn't he? He played well in the first quarter, good second quarter, and now continuing that here in the third.
And that's the word that they're always seeking from the guy taking the snaps, is consistency. Taking care of the ball, making sure it gets to the right people, no errors, right? Not turning it over, and just doing all the right things. That's leadership, and it inspires confidence in a team.
Yeah, got a good leadership and a good distributor.
Here now, 2nd and 4.
They run again with Harris. Fights loose. Powers past him at midfield. And he'll be taken down across the 50 at the 45 in enemy territory.
161 yards for him on the ground now. He has been a tough man to bring down all night. So 1st and 10, and if they score on this drive, might have to start digging in our second half blowout material.
They'll get just a yard on the scramble. It's 2nd down.
And cue the applause, and there it is for him. The mark he's been aiming for all season long. 1,000 yards. Just a third quarterback to reach that milestone, joining Lamar Jackson and Michael Vick. That's a season's worth of work and a huge commitment to get him the touches that he needed to make that happen. Congratulations.
And he'll be brought down right on the edge of the goal line at about the 1-yard line. Big yardage there on the scramble. It gets him a 1st down.
No surprise to see him running again here. Is something he's done throughout this season. And that run puts him over 500 yards on the ground for the year. He's got to be thinking to himself, if I'm already at 500, what's to stop me from going for 1,000?
After the big play, a chance to finish now on 1st and goal. Now they'll switch it up here and look to throw. Eluding the pressure right. And he's in. Touchdown, Steelers. Punching it in from a yard away.
And the Steelers get another third-quarter touchdown to add on to that lead.
But defensively, didn't seem like anybody had eyes on the quarterback, and he took advantage.
So you think that maybe we're seeing some pretty good instincts for a young guy? Because that's the thing you worry about. Coming out of college, you're used to getting away with just about anything you want to do. You're just superior. Here, he has to read it, figure it out, and know when it's time to go.
And the Steelers set to take the field.
Well, they don't really need the points here, Charles, given what we're looking at on the scoreboard, but they've scored on 3 consecutive possessions, 3 consecutive drives, and I'm sure that they would like to keep that streak going here and continuing to pour it on.
And things have gotten that way in the NFL, haven't they, partner? Because in the old days, people would, they get off the gas a little bit, right? But now, people continue to accelerate. But we'll see what they decide to do as they come after this one. But the way this game has gone, they've got to be awfully happy with their execution overall.
So one play, and they're already just shy of midfield. A run with Harris out of the shotgun.
Missed.
This will not go down. And he goes down, but not before getting this inside the 25.
Another big play as they get 28 out of that one. No doubt those are the types of carries they're looking for here, Charles. The lead in the 4th quarter. This is when coaches that have a reliable running game, they breathe a little easier on the sideline.
Yeah, they love the idea that they can take the air out of the football at this point of the game. That means they're really counting on that offensive line, counting on the runners, taking care of the football. Because you're going to tell your quarterback, hey, no time to be a hero. We're not going to throw it here. Just eat up that clock. And if you have the ball, they can't score. Partner, even I can figure out who deserves the lion's share of credit for their lead right now because He has been terrific in a dual threat role, really chewing up yardage and getting them points with his legs.
And he's going to take it in for a Steeler touchdown. Taking it in from a yard out.
And the Steelers add on to their lead, and it's looking like that win streak is going to extend another week.
I'm pretty sure that was a passing play, but he took off pretty quickly and ran with it.
Love his decisiveness on it because you're exactly right. He was supposed to go back in the pocket and survey the field and throw the football. But when that hole opened, he just said, forget it, let's go. And boy, did that work out well.
And Pittsburgh getting set to take the field.
And they just continue to roll right along, really. This has the looks of yet another victory as they hope to polish it off here in quarter number 4.
A handoff to Harris to begin the drive. And that'll be good for 8 yards to the 45.
Brandon, I've got to think this offensive line has got some smiles on its faces. And I know it sounds crazy, but they practiced for this back in training camp. They knew they'd be in situations where it'd be extra defenders in the box coming after them, trying to keep them from locking down a game. Right now, they want to show the world they're up to the challenge.
Again, it's Harris on second down.
And he'll get it out a couple yards shy of midfield at the 48. They'll get 3 as the drive continues. It's a first down. Hate to be blunt, but it is just continuing to prove to be the case that this O-line is manhandling this D-line right now.
They deserve to roll up their sleeves and show up their biceps.
That's caught inside the 20. And he's going to be out down inside the 20 at the 15. What a play that turns out to be, 36 yards.
And this has been the story all night long. They just came out firing and have not backed off, even with the big fourth quarter lead. Here's another completion for big yardage.
So after the big play, look at this, all the way down at the 15 now on 1st and 10. He'll buy some time right.
And able to get him down, but he does reach the 5. Nothing open downfield. He keeps it himself for 11 and a first down.
Just 2 minutes remaining here in the fourth quarter of what has been a one-sided affair.
So the Steelers with the football as we get you reset. They've got it 1st and goal in a game that appears to have already been decided. Rolling to his right. And just shy of the goal line as he's out of bounds right at the 1. He'll get 3 yards on the scramble there. It's 2nd down.
Now it looks like he'll throw here, escaping the pressure. And he will get into the end zone. It's another touchdown. This thing is ugly. Another touchdown here in the fourth quarter. And, Charles, I think we can start to consider that this undefeated streak of theirs is going to be safe for another week.
And, partner, you don't make it this far into a season without a loss unless you're getting contributions from both sides of the ball and sometimes even your special teams. And that's been true today. Each side helping guide them to this late lead.
Now the Steelers offense gets ready to get back onto the field.
And this crowd has certainly liked what they've seen. Their guys fully expected to win this one coming in, and they have not disappointed as they've got the big lead here in the fourth.
On 1st down, Gibson flush to his right. On the run, he'll let this go deep right side. Well, this is taken in. It's complete. A gain of 37.
In a spot where most offenses would just be trying to get to the finish line and close this game out, they're still looking for points here in the final minute of this game. I think bonuses could be gained and attained with maybe more points.
So how about that for a chain mover? They're all the way down inside the 40 now for 1st and 10. Back to throw. Gibson staying on his feet. Flushed out right. And this is caught. And he takes it in for the score on the game's final play. So it doesn't affect the outcome. But a little whipped cream on top to their ending.
Or as our friends in Bayou Country would say, that's a little lagniappe, a little extra on top. Well, business as usual for them. Well on their way to another victory. Riding a serious wave of momentum from what we've seen. And so far, they haven't met their match. So if you're going to play this team in the future, your mission is clear. You better be ready to play and match their firepower.
Well, fans usually love to see scoring, and there was no shortage of it today. What a dominant showing from an offense that was truly playing at an elite level in this contest.
Partner, this game was...
Can't wait to watch some film from today.
Celebrate tonight. Back to work tomorrow, fellas.
Plan to do a lot of celebrating this year.